Okay, so we have seen, the takedown of coordinated groups of alleged scammers here. Detective, when you look at these groups, what have you learned about these operators?
I've learned that it's transnational crime and organized crime in Canada to commit these frauds at volume, and money is the ultimate reason why they're doing this, and they'll hit anyone and anyone to fill their coffers with cash.
So it's not Joe Blow sitting in his basement. Like this is well organized, well put together.
Yeah, when you look at these maybe Kijiji Facebook marketplace scams, that could be a one-off, but the grandparent scams, the crypto investment scams, the bank investigator scams, that's organized fraud.
So when we're talking about grandparent scams, Ritesh, how are they finding these seniors?
There's multiple ways that they're able to find the seniors. Just think about the type of information that's actually out there that's published. You have phone books. I know that sounds very old school, but it's still a thing. You can go online, you have names, you have phone numbers. There's historical searches as well. There's internet archives that can be viewed. The other thing that a lot of people may be unaware of, and again, a lot of this high-tech crime, sometimes very low-tech ways of getting information. Dumpster diving, just thinking about the type of information that you're just throwing out there.
Like people are going into your trash?
They're going into the trash. They're able to get mail. Think about what you're actually throwing out. Take a bank statement, for example. What type of information do you have on there? You have an address, you have a name, you have transactions. If you have that type of information, you can now target an individual by calling them up and saying, no, I'm legitimate. I'm actually the bank. I'm actually this person who I say I am. Oh, by the way, let me prove it to you. On this day, you made this transaction. On this day, you made this payment. All that information is out there, and it's there for the picking.
But all of our information is online, Detective.
It really is. And with the grandparent scam, Canada 411, they would type in a postal code and have a list of names, phone numbers, and addresses to start making their cold calls.
So I want to ask about the voice behind those calls, okay? Because we just talked to Kent, a victim in Alberta, who said, he picked up the phone and he was like, I am sure that was my grandson's voice. We found out it was a scam after. Is it AI? Is it voice cloning, Ritesh? What's going on here?
It could be a combination of stuff. Clearly, we're seeing artificial intelligence and generative AI being leveraged for these types of frauds and scams. There's apps out there, and by the way, these apps are coming out at a rapid pace. Before, you actually had to go in, you had to read a particular paragraph, and then it would clone your voice, essentially. No, that's no longer the case. You can take smaller clips. Maybe it's not the exact voice, but you can get pretty close. The tech is evolving at a rapid pace, and we're seeing it with voice, and we're going to start seeing it with video as well.
Is there an ideal victim?
The ideal victim would be someone that might not be on their A game. Maybe they have cognitive decline, maybe they're going through stress in their life, and then when they get that cold phone call, in our investigation we found that there was no AI in the grandparent scam. It was just slugging the phone calls. Maybe you have 50 people and you get one or two victims, and that was a success for them.
I want to ask Ritesh, because I know a lot of people call you that have been scammed. Like, what does this do to their lives?
It is devastating. I think we always think about the fact, yes, somebody has been victimized, but you think about the emotional toll it takes on them, the psychological toll. I recently dealt with a victim who was scammed out of $250,000 to the point where they had a crisis, a personal crisis. They had to check themselves into the hospital. They needed, and they've never been the same. Imagine you open a bank account and there's all of a sudden $250,000 gone, your life savings, something you worked really hard for. And we think about the numbers, right? We talk about the millions of dollars that are lost, but at the end of the day, these are human beings. These are our citizens, our neighbors, our friends, our family that are being impacted by these types of frauds. And when you put a face to a number, it really hits home, and it's devastating.
When we talk about grandparent scams, we think about, you're hearing your grandchild, or you think you're hearing your grandchild or someone that you love. But I understand that there's some other scams on the rise for seniors that you've looked into, Detective.
Yeah, the bank investigator scam. And really, the pitch might be different, but their end goal is the same. It's to get people to panic, to rush in, taking their money out of their financial institution or transferring money and hand it over to the bad actors. So they prey on people that are kind.
And how does that practically happen? So they call, and then what's the follow through there?
So the phone call will be, I'm a representative from a financial institution or a major company, a brand. There's been suspicious transactions on your credit card. In order for you to secure your credit card, you have to transfer all your funds over to a government wallet or a government bank account of some sort. And so they're telling these seniors, cut up your bank card, have your chip, put it in a manila envelope, put your PIN number, we'll have someone pick it up and get you a new card. And so what
That's wild and brazen.
Yeah, and they'll convince these people that in order to help this major investigation with law enforcement, you need to put your money in a controlled wallet or account, and then once the investigation's done, you're going to get your money back.
Is there a dead giveaway when someone is being scammed?
For me, it's always the pressure tactic, the sense of urgency. They want to keep you on the phone. They want you to do something. They encourage you not to tell anyone. They tell you that there's a sense of this has to be done right now. And the big reason for that is they don't want you to hit that pause button. And the whole idea here is to get you to panic, to do something. Sometimes they have some sensitive information that you're like, only a bank would know that. Only the police would know that about me. But that information's out there.
What would you say in terms for seniors that might get one of these calls? What would you tell them?
We're always telling people it's okay to hang up and question who is actually calling you. So if it's your financial institution that you believe is calling because it shows on your call display, hang up and call your financial institution with the number on the back of your card. Mm-hmm. Same thing with impersonations of judicial officials. Call that local police station, maybe call the Crown Attorney's office to verify the information. I
was fascinated by the Ontario stats from the OPP that in the first 6 months of 2025, there was $46 million that was lost from seniors in this province. And yet, it was interesting to learn that only 5 to 10% of cases are reported. It feels like you're up against a tsunami, detective. Does it feel like you're losing this war?
I'm encouraged by private-public partnerships. Police working with other police services or major telcos or insurance companies or financial institutions. We are coming together to try and combat this. We know that it's a challenge. The other thing is where to find information. And the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre has a really great website. They have A to Z frauds where you can find out different frauds that may be hitting you. They have what to do if you're a victim. So if you do find yourself victimized, there's 9 steps on what to do. And we try and encourage people to be aware of the different fraud trends. So knowledge is power.
Beyond a safe word, what can people do to protect themselves?
So I would go even beyond a safe word. I would think just have a safe phrase. I think that's number one. Number two is have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. If you do end up getting those calls, you're hitting that pause button. You're phoning a friend and saying, "Hey, I just got this. Is this legitimate?" And go to the source. So if someone claims to be the police, be like, okay, thank you. Hang up, call the police, look up the number on a search engine, on a website, and contact them and validate and verify they are who they say they are. Just don't take the information you get at surface level as being the absolute. Do your homework, and in the cybersecurity world, we call that deploy a zero trust protocol.
Yeah, and I always say be your own detective. Put whatever fraud type you think or what has been presented to you into a search engine and type plus symbol fraud, and you'll be amazed what you're going to find.
Amazing. Great tips. Thank you both for being on the show.